Don't covet. And I thought, well, this is one I escape on. I don't covet. I rejoice in people's success, what they do. That's just not a part of me. Then I realized that down underneath coveting, and it's a sin you can't see. Most of the other commandments, we break them, it's pretty obvious. Boy, this one you don't see. You covet what is not yours. You don't see it. And then I thought about identity theft. That's a big thing. In 2017, there were 17,200,000 reported identity thefts. We know what that is, some kind of cyber crime that they take your bank card, your credit card, your driver's license, your Social Security, and they assume your identity, and they take a lot of money out. Identity theft is a big, big thing in our world today. How many of you in one way or another have been involved? I have in that. Lift your hand. My goodness, it's really something, isn't it? Identity theft. By the way, is this a new crime, sort of a new crime in recent days? You think it is? Not really. You know where it goes back to? The Garden of Eden. Yeah, identity theft involves all three of these sins we're talking about: stealing, lying, and coveting. And it goes all the way back to the garden. The lie was what the devil, the snake, told Eve. Man, you won't die. You'll be like God. That's the lie. That's the lie right up front. And what was stolen? Eve said, that sure does look good in that tree. We think it's an apple. We don't know what it was. And Satan says, you mean you can't eat from that tree? Now, Adam and Eve had everything. They had the whole shooting match, everything, everybody. They had all the world, all of it. They were to be stewards of it. They were in charge of it. That was their whole portfolio, the world, except that one little tree. And so she stole from that tree. She took from God what she did not have, what she wanted. And what was behind all this? Covetousness. They wanted to steal God's identity. They wanted to be God, know good and evil. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do when we steal, when we lie, when we cheat, when we break God's rule, when we sin. We want to be God. We want to take God's identity. We want to run our own life. We think, you think, I think, when we sin, I know more about life than God does. How arrogant can you get? How arrogant all of us are. I know more than God. Adam and Eve wanted to be God. They didn't qualify. They didn't have the stuff, the equipment, the givenness to be God. And when you and I try to say, boy, God, you should have done this and you should have done this, you should have let this person live, you should have let that person die, we can't make those calls, folks. And someday in eternity, we'll look back and we'll understand that God is God and you and I are not God. And we try to steal his identity and play God. It's always a disaster in the end.